it means like, it means banned, damned, or total destruction. So, the concept that practice of Shalom as a total eradication of a people in war needs to be understood in the light of Yahweh, or in the light of God's conflict with the cosmic forces of evil, where his character and reputation are at stake. Why do we say that? The practice of total destruction describes God's righteous judgment against sin and evil. God uniquely delegated the execution of part of his judgment to his chosen nation, the ancient Israelites. As we have seen in Tuesday's study, those who came under the ban of destruction consistently rebelled against God's purpose and defied them, never repenting either. Therefore, God's decision to destroy them was neither arbitrarily. Arbitrary means like randomly, right? Arbitrarily, nor nationalistic. In other words, their saving, for them to be saved, it was not just like an act of, like a random act that God was doing. It's a choice that they were to make. Right. The choices that were making, they are the ones that were determining if they were to be destroyed or what, or being saved. Can someone read again, really quick, Deuteronomy 13, verse 12 to 18? And another person open Joshua chapter 10, verse 40.
Deuteronomy, go ahead. Deuteronomy 13:12?
Yeah, to 18.
Deuteronomy 13:12 here says, if you hear it said about one of your towns, the Lord your God is giving you to live in, that troublemakers have arisen among you and have led the people of their town astray, saying, let us go and worship other gods, gods you have not known. Then you must inquire, probe, and investigate it thoroughly. And if it is true and it has been proved that this detestable thing has been done among you, you must certainly put to the sword all who live in that town. You must destroy it completely, both its people and its livestock. 16? You are to gather all the plunder of the town into the middle of the public square, and completely burn the town and all its plunder as if a whole burnt offering to the Lord your God. That town is to remain a ruin forever, never to be rebuilt. And none of the condemned things are to be found in your hands. Then the Lord will turn from his fierce anger, will show you mercy, and will have compassion on you. He will increase your numbers as he promised on oath to your ancestors.
Amen. Thank you. Somebody, Joshua 10, verse 40.
So Joshua conquered all the land, the mountain country and the south, and the lowland and the wilderness slopes. And all their kings he left alone, remaining, but utterly destroyed all that breathed, as the Lord of Israel had commanded.
He did what God commanded by doing what? Eradicating, destroying everything as he was instructed. There's some good news about God's wrath. Divine war is a concrete manifestation of God's wrath, not only toward the Canaanites and other nations, but also toward his own people in biblical times. God's wrath cannot... One second. God's wrath cannot be overlooked, as it is mentioned the lesson says here 580 times in Old Testament and 100 times in New Testament. Divine wrath is rooted in 4 immutable aspects of God's character. Before we look at that, you had something, and then we...
I just wanted to say, what would happen today when God says if you hear somebody trying to draw you away to worship another God, search, make sure. Make sure you know what you're saying. Search diligently. And if that is so, that person, the entire village is going to be destroyed. Why? Because one witness to draw them away from God is going to contaminate everyone around them. So get rid of that person and the entire people around them. And I wonder where we are today, because you have so many people will have a bad witness for the church, and before you know it, an entire family or so is drawn away from the worshiping, even that they are worshiping the true and living God. And it still tells us that God is not pleased with the things that we do to pull away people from worshiping Him.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. First, God is holy. Israel is called to be holy because the Lord is holy. In Leviticus chapter 11, verse 14, it says that God is what? Holy. Throughout the book of Isaiah, God is referred to us as the Holy One of Israel. Actually, it's mentioned like 27 times. The angels declare holy, holy in Revelation 4 verse 8 and Isaiah 6 verse 3. God's holiness is incompatible. We better get this right. God's holiness is what? Incompatible with evil, which is the reason why He abhors sin. Based on this intrinsic aspect of His nature, in his dialogue with God, the prophet Habakkuk exclaims, "You are of purer eyes than to behold evil, and cannot look on wickedness." Another thing, now we have heard the first point, God is what? Holy. Second, God is what? Righteous. David affirms that, for the Lord is righteous, He loves righteousness.